Oh yeah, well the last thing you want to do is follow that, right? And I can't. I can't follow that, but I am here because I believe strongly in something that I want to tell you about, and that is the Master Plan of California. And I believe that we have to take the Master Plan back. We have to take the Master Plan back. And it has been stolen from us, over a long period of time. I can tell you about this personally. When I attended the University of California as a freshman, a very long time ago, I paid $19.50 fees for my first quarter. Now, you could buy a lot of Brontosaurus for $19. But I need to tell you, even then, the process was starting, because by my second quarter it was $69.50, and it went up from there. Ronald Reagan was governor of the state at the time, and it was the beginning of a reign of a philosophy which really has stolen the Master Plan from us. But it's even more serious than just that. You heard about the guy who walked in the bar, right? Ouch! Now, what is that all about? I'm a political scientist. I'm a political theorist, actually. What happens is language plays funny games. And the Master Plan has been stolen from us, not just because we now charge you tuition, though we don't call it tuition, but because the Master Plan itself has been sanitized and removed to a distant past. So we are told that the Master Plan was possible in the 50s because the economy was booming in the 50s, and this was really a response to a booming economy, which is why, of course, that we can't afford the Master Plan now. That's what we used to call, and what we should still call, bullshit. They only gave me 45 minutes, so don't waste too much of my time. The way in which the Master Plan has been stolen from us is not just a result of the fact that we've now lost the substance of it, but we've lost the vision of it, because it's been portrayed as something that is impossible now, that existed in a different time than our time. But I need to tell you that the Master Plan was a very sensible, humane, small d democratic thing, not born of good times. It was born of crisis. The Master Plan is a direct result of what happens after every war. War is bad for all kinds of reasons, but one of the reasons war is bad is because after the war is over, you have a whole bunch of people who are trained to fight and not do much else. And all of a sudden, they're dumped onto the economy. And economies have a hard time dealing with this. The United States approached this problem after World War II in an incredibly forward-looking way. It was going to be a crisis, but they said, what we're going to do is we're going to take these folks and we're going to put them in education so that they don't spring on the economy right away. They'll filter into the economy more gradually, and when they do, they will be better trained and will have a better economy. The whole post-war boom was built on this deal that was made. But notice, we don't get the Master Plan handed back to us. The ordinary structure of politics, and I'm a political science major, the ordinary structure of politics is that small d democratic things happen when small d democratic forces take them in their own hands. That's why we're here. We are here because our strength is in numbers. But notice, you don't have to set up an us versus them. There are times when the interests of elites and the interests of masses converge. And that's exactly what happened with the Master Plan. That's what made the Master Plan so beautiful. It was the interest of the elites to avoid that crisis and to move the economy forward. It was the interest of the masses to democratize higher education. Higher education used to be the plaything of the rich. It was only a small proportion of the economy, of the society, that was ever able to afford a higher education. But the Master Plan made that different. We've got to take the Master Plan back, in part by recognizing that it was not a result of boom times, it was a result of crisis. You take a crisis like this, and you exercise democratic forces in order to bring the elite and the mass interests together. The Public Policy Institute of California made a study, I'm going to be boring here for a minute, made a study earlier this year that demonstrated that for California to fill the jobs that we already know are going to have to be filled by 2025, the jobs, the higher education job demand is going this way, and our ability to supply those jobs is going this way. Unless we want to become a peripheral nation, a third world nation, it is in the interest both of elites, economic elites, and the rest of us to take back the master plan. That's going to require some different thinking, as it did in the 1950s. It's going to require some really creative thinking, and it's going to require some sacrifice. It's going to require a lot of courage to do this. Courage on the part of public officials, and courage on the part of the rest of us when we put certain of our own asses on the line in order to advance these causes. But that's what we've got to do. I've used up all the time I've got, but I need to tell you, we need to take back the master plan.